the priority here is not about making money. It's not about even the choices right to live. There are much more bigger, urgent issues. So this is a small sacrifice we are ready to take in order to perform a greater good. And we talk about the freedom of choice. In this now day and age, your choice is affecting, and the consequences of your actions are affecting a lot of people more than you think. So when you say you have the freedom to choose, actually the smallest thing you are doing, you are affecting everyone else, and it will be apparent in my speech later on. Last rebuttal, when I finish with the rebuttal, the other one will be part of my speech. So when we talk about we live in a hopeless mentality, we live in a point where the definition of whatever is good and whatever is bad is all mixed up. Like, no matter how bad or how good you think you are acting, you will still definitely be whatever, or it will be assessed as a bad person in someone else's definition. So we need to restart all those standards and start from zero. Besides whatever the opening government was talking about the wealth gap and that there is a imbalance of power, and then we reach to the point that where one country or few people in the world, they own more than few billions of the people, and only few countries, for example, they own the nuclear power and they have the ability to destroy the whole planet. We believe this is too much of a risk to have, and we need a fresh start. Beyond that, which is our main talking point, the environment itself, it is to the point that no matter how much you recycle as a person, there is no way for you to fix it. And we are overpopulating the planet to the point that if every single person on this planet is living as the average American, we need at least 10 planets in order to satisfy our needs. So we cannot sustain this situation. We need a fresh start. And actually, even if you claim to be innocent and you are doing everything for the sake of the environment, for example, by just owning a phone, that is everyone's right to own a phone, you are producing such amount of dangerous material, that harms the environments beyond repair. So we believe all those things should go out of the windows, and it doesn't matter who lives or who dies, but we need a fresh start in order to fix the environment problem. Because you are unable to be good. For example, you decide to live in the mountain and do nothing, then you won't be able to survive. So in order to be alive in this day and age, you definitely have to do something which is harmful to the environment. And as I mentioned, even the standards are all mixed up. Like, even if you try to help the poor or feed the homeless, for example, and you post it on Instagram, you will still be seen as someone who exploits the bad people or exploit the poor people, and you will be seen as someone who's not a good person. So the side opening government is talking about punishing bad people and only keeping good people. Well, I tell you that the standards of bad and good are all mixed up and need to be reset. And we are talking about the ability to do truly good, to be truly a good person. You need a fresh start. You need an environment or a society that is less complex in order your action to have a clear consequences, so you can easily be judged on your consequences of your action. Because nowadays, if I just do something very simple like buy a cup of coffee to enjoy my day, I'm harming a lot of forests and I'm causing damage to the planet. And yes, before the 6 minutes, yes. Any closing?
Okay. So you're assuming that the notorious crime doers or the serious killers has the same crimes as the farmers that living besides the mountains, right?
It doesn't matter who's gonna survive after the flood. It doesn't matter. What we care about, the measure of what crime qualify you to drown in the flood, for us as a closing government, it doesn't matter. At least few people will survive, and those few people will form a society. Maybe side opposition, they can even claim that, for example, let's move to Mars, for example, and that's a fresh start. And actually, that's part of the flood. A flood might be like just a rephrasing of the flood. It might be another way of doing the same result as what the flood will do, which is moving to Mars and start a new society. And that's what we are calling for. And then you can be, and then all the prejudice. That's the other thing. Okay, I will take another one before 6 minutes.
So you're assuming that after the flood, that all of the environmental problem, the resources depletion, is going to be solved, and And are you always going to rely on the Great Flood again and again if your future problem just repeats?
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can have, for example, you can say that I will always have a second chance. Let me do, for example, if I tell you there is a safe net, and then you can do whatever you want. You can even jump because you know there is a safe net. You can do reckless things. That's what the side opposition might be saying. What we are telling you is that after the flood, because you are risking your life, you are risking someone else's life, you are risking, for example, you might not be the chosen one that will be left alive in order to populate the earth again or to survive again. So believe that you as a person, you only have one chance, but we as a humanity, we have multiple chances that are given to us by God through those floods. But as a person, I need to take my responsibility, because when you talk about people who believe in the religion and believe in the unseen and the day after, actually for them, judgment or being punished or not being punished is not in this life, it's in the day after. So this flood is just a mechanism in order to claim the earth from all those issues. The other thing is that when you are a small society and a small community, it's very easy to get rid of prejudice, because you will be able to know every single people and you will be able to know all the communities within you. So it will be easier for you to not have any bad assumptions about them or about their bad religion, because you can see them, you can interact with them, because we all know that prejudice only stems from the ability or the inability of interacting with that person, because you just heard about them in the media, but now you are living with them and trying to make this chance work again. And for all these reasons, we strongly propose this motion.
Thank you, member of the government, for that speech. Now let's welcome the member of opposition. Here.
I think the only things that all closing house make a consensus is that actually the company's argument from opening opposition doesn't work. Yeah. And before moving on to my argument, I would like to do some rebuttals to both on the opening house of the government and the closing house of the government. So first, for the opening house of the government. The opening house says that the main purpose of these great flood to happen is to punish those people. However, they didn't consider about the punishment should be fair, and they should consider about the scale of how the people should doing crime. They just giving a vague standard on how is people to be judges, to be good people and bad people. And however, with these kind of vague standards, that all the people should have the things, and they also ignore that the complexity of the real life. What do we have? Because that in the real life, you actually sometimes you have to face very difficult decisions. Like for the doctors, when they want to save a pregnant person who is actually very dangerous into their life, they need to choose whether to keep the mothers or keep the babies. And if they keep the mothers, then the babies will die. And then keep the babies, the mothers will die. So you're going to punish that doctors by making these difficult decisions and reaching the highest and biggest benefit for the mothers and kids? I do not think so. And also, there's a whole government bench, from opening house to closing house, they're assuming that people when doing actually purely, people having to be purely good. We don't need to be purely kind to others, and so that they were not getting a punishment from the God. However, we believe that's not the humanity means. Because humanity, the true meaning of humanity means that we need to believe that human can overcome these disadvantages. Human can overcome the barriers and also reaching to a brighter future. That is the basic meaning of the humanity, and this is the only principal argument I have, and also for the opposite side, because humanity itself believes that human can act even with these kind of disadvantages, like we are like doing crime, we don't like to doing crime, we just do, yeah, because even if the human are lazy, human tend to doing some bad things like that. However, we can still use law, we can still use the social systems. We believe that the human society can actually repair these kind of mistakes and actually reaching to a brighter future. And that's why we have the civilizations today. That's why we have these kind of comedians like today. That's why we can have these kind of debate helping in the NCCU today. And also, if the things is so simple as the government thinks that, okay, good is good, bad is bad, and we should punish the good, and we should punish the bad people like that, we don't need to debate on a lot of issues, because many issues that are standing on the edges of the good and bad. There's a lot of issues need to be standard, needs to be debated, and it's also arguable, containing about the context, containing about background knowledge like that. Okay, so this is the rebuttal I'm doing for the government side. Before moving on, yes.
How, under your model, you will save the environment while the strongest country on earth is pulling out of Paris agreements and no one is doing the work for the environment and it's just going downhill? How will you fix it and then your side decide?
Okay, so the strongest argument coming to stand to legitimize these actions, these great fluid from the government side is that actually we need to fix the problems happening in the normal world. But we actually have providing you a better alternative without this kind of great harm of a lot of casualties, a lot of loss of lives in the real world happening. So basically, we are now doing to fix our problems. We have COP21 to dealing with the climate change. We have these kind of lesbian movements, LGBTQ movements, in order to search for the rights of LGBTQ right. Maybe they are slow, maybe they are gradually, maybe they cannot solve the problem in one day. But this is what humanities want us to do. Humanity wants us to overcome this challenge, to overcome these barriers, even if we have disadvantage, even if we have time. And we, according to the history, empirical history, we can see that actually humans overcome every time. So that's why we have civilizations right now. That's why we have the modern cities right now. And also, the government side keeps saying that, okay, the government side keeps saying that, okay, we should punish that people, these people is not fixable. I don't think people is unfixable because we can actually learn the class from the people. And also, the actually good contradictions from the government side is that people never change and people is unchangeable. However, I think that that is why I believe that the great fluid doesn't solve the problem, because when there's only small society and people on the world, they still grow up. They still grow up to a big civilization at that. And these kind of things will happening again and again and again. And the bad guys still need to happen. The bad guys will happening because the good guys will gradually turn into the bad guys for their own interest. People is actually for their own interest, so they will doing the bad things, doing the crimes like that. So basically, people are gradually being gotten bad and bad and bad like that. So basically, however, the humanity asks us to how to overcome these barriers, even though people have these kind of disadvantage. Humanity believes that human is actually have the ability to overcome these kind of barriers. And also, I would believe that apart from the unfairness of that, and apart from the unfair, useless to solve the problems, we also believe that actually social change right now is actually enough. We defend the status quo, even though there's a lot of disadvantage. But we believe we can overcome these kind of things. And finally, the government never give a very legitimate reasons for how to legitimize these kind of right laws of life. Because we all know that right of life is actually a very core right for the people. However, government right now is comparing the right of life, these kind of heavy things with the crimes, maybe the small crimes or big crimes. The government side never gave very clear definitions on that. They just can't say, okay, if people make mistake, then we should kill them. Oh, this is just like a naughty kid when they are playing Monopoly. Then when the naughty kids facing the challenges, they just reset the whole game. This is totally a very irresponsible irresponsible actions for the government to take that. Especially the government side needs to solve the problem cannot solve the problem with these policies. So basically, based on the solvency of the policy of the great fluid, and also based on the legitimate reasons, we believe that the government's opposite side should win this debate. And also, closing opposition side telling you that actually we get more belief on humanity itself. And because this is humanity-based debate, we need to clarify about what is the humanity is. And we believe that the humanity itself is actually put more beliefs on the human, put more beliefs on the human can actually overcome these challenges coming from the history, coming from the real life, and actually reaching to a brighter future. So basically, based on these reasons, we are very proud to oppose these issues. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, member of opposition, for that speech. Now let's welcome the government with here.
As a government whip, I have to first point out the mistake committed by the opposition side. And first of all, let's see what the government's opening opposition will offer to this debate. They say that that because everyone has the right to live, so if you just commit small sins and you destroy them altogether, all those innocent people, so they are so innocent so they cannot be, they don't deserve the flood. But however, we believe that I think that the opening half of this house, I'll keep talking about the individual things, sin or individual crimes but we think that is totally not the essence of this whole debate. We believe that the whole debate is that it is the opportunity for the poor or for those who are oppressed to change their status. So even if so, the best case is that innocent people will live. But however, they are still oppressed by all those discrimination, or for example, the pollution created by the whole populations. They are not better off. They are worse than death. So what we are going to do is that we offer these poor people, offer them an opportunity to restart to restart and refresh. Not being oppressed again. So let's move on what the closing position give us. They say that human beings always overcomes every problems. And let's say probably you can educate people that they can solve the problem. Yes. You can educate them and arouse their awareness. But we agree that education works, but in really inefficient way, and it is time consuming, and it takes a lot of time. But however, the situations we are now facing, as my partner has told you, that our planet is going to be destroyed because of the CO2 emitted by by humans. And we are running out of time. There is no time for you to educate your people and ask them to raise their awareness. Then we have also tell you, for the examples, that Paris agreements. There are many countries come to the conference and say, yes, I will reduce my emissions, but no one will do it. So there is no way to stop the situation got worse. And also, people teach some lessons like you have to respect others 100 years ago, but nowadays people still teaching all these things. Why? Because the people do not improve. I do not say that people will not improve forever, but we think that it took a lot of time for the whole population, whole human to improve. And also, we believe that there is an overpopulation in this society. So if we can restart it from the very beginning point, that it will grant people's more happy situation, like there is no bias, there is no discrimination, and people are more likely to content with what they have. So that is the reason why we have to address this flaws. So before I move on. Yes.
Okay. So, how do you guarantee the ideal world can be created after the Great Flood?
As we have said, that is an opportunity. If you stay at the status quo, nothing will change. And I will tell you that. For example, there is this world sucks. This world has a wealth gap. There is a gap so large between the poor and the rich, and there is no way for the people to live. They cannot be themselves to change their status quo. So if you do not offer them a chance, the opportunity, at least the opportunity for them to change, it is no way to improve their. No, I will not take any POI. There's no way for them to change. And also for environment issues, that's as I have said, there is people that polluting this earth for a long time and doing and just enjoy what they want and regardless of the outcomes. So it is time for us to restart and ask give the chance for this plant to recover from itself and give the opportunity for the survival from the flood to have a better opportunity to live. What I said is the opportunity, not the absolutely that people will better off. But in the opposition case, people have definitely no opportunity, no ways, no hopes, they cannot see any bright side of the life. They are sitting there and be discriminated, be oppressed by the being oppressed by the powerful countries or powerful individuals, or they suffer from the discrimination. There has no point. They are sitting there and seeing them to go to the death of the whole society. So our worst case is that even if we will lose a majority of the population in this society, however, for the human as a group, as the groups, we continue the life, we continue the sustainability, we continue the hope of this species. We make this species can grow better and grow healthier and create a much more a country, a civilization that without any unfair or unjust that exists in the current situations. So based on this point, that I have to keep emphasize that, and also I have to differentiate ourselves and the open government is that they keep telling me that the sense of the flood is that punishing, but we have to emphasize that it is much more important to say that it is it's opportunity for those oppressed to get restarted. So based on this point, we strongly propose this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Government Wood, for that speech. And to wrap up this debate as a whole, I welcome the opposition Wood. Here.
Here.
It's December 8th. The year ends at December 31. We have 23 days to live until the flood comes. So, what are the two worlds in this debate? The first world is that the world after the flood, which is the government side. The second world is that the world if there is no flood. So, I'll be comparing these two worlds, and then I'll be stating my main goal, which is better for Okay, so for the first world, after God drops the holy hand grenade. Okay, so what happens after God drops the hand grenade? On their side, they're saying that people are going to have a new opportunity. People are going to have a new society in which they can live in. However, we find that this is difficult to understand because they've said that people never changes. And we on our side we believe that people never changes. They're always going to do something bad. They're always going to sin. They're always going to go against God. They're always going to go against someone. However, after the world is flooded, what is the mutually exclusive thing that they have brought to us today? Nothing, because everyone is still bad at the end of the day. So why is it that people should not be executed through this holy hand grenade? People should not be flooded because, as their side has already brought up, people need to experience the pain the conclusions that they're going to get. Okay, so if people continue to destroy the world through climate change, if people are going to continue to do that, we have to suffer the consequences. And even if it does burn down the entire world, even if it does burn down the entire world, it's going to, as we have proven time and time again, humans adapt to different environments. People adapt to different situations that they're always in. Take the Black Death. People have evolved and created vaccines and antibiotics. So why is it that humans Why is it that humans always adapt so well? It's because God never flooded us until that one time where we.
Here.
Okay, so.
Yeah,
So.
I dare you, sir.
Before I move on to my second world, yes.
Can you engage with the fact that the flood, at least it will solve the overpopulation and the lack of resources issue?
Yes, the flood would. The flood can probably solve that. However, on our side, we believe that humans will have to find a new way to get their resources. Humans will have to adapt to the new environment changes. People would have to do things to survive, and therefore humans are great, and we benefit humanity as a whole. Okay, so here's the characterization of the world without a flood. What does the world look like if God didn't throw that holy hand grenade? People will start to adapt. People will start to overcome. People will start to improvise. Okay, so we have to have faith in these humans. We have to have faith in ourselves, and we have to have faith that. No, we have to have faith that people are going to change. People are going to understand that this is bad. People are going to understand overthrow Donald Trump. People are going to come back with the Paris Treaty thing. And we have to have faith in these humans, as my MO has brought up. Okay. Now moving on to moving on to my clash. Who gives a better opportunity to humans? Their side is saying that we're gonna give an opportunity to humans because they're all gonna die. They're all gonna suffer Judgment Day. However, we find that this is not as good as ours, because let's weigh our sides. Which is that we allow the humans to see what they have become. We allow the humans to see what they have done to this world. We allow the humans to suffer the consequences. We allow the humans to give them another chance, another opportunity in which people are going to actually going to change. Okay, so just to simplify this, their side is kill everyone. Our side is let humans adapt. So what is the very obvious win in this debate? That we give more opportunity to humans. Our side, very obviously, because we let them live. Okay, living is an opportunity. Killing them is not. Okay, so now so very obviously we've kind of just disregarded OO, and our goal, and we fulfilled our main goal, which is that this is better for humans, and therefore I would like to end the debate with one simple sentence. Do you want to have faith in humans, or do you want a world in God throws a holy hand grenade at the earth? Thank you.
Thank you to all teams for this debate. Please cross forward if you can, and we will announce the verdict during the closing ceremony.